Hey guys, it's me, Carly, coming at you with another video. And yes, I am wearing my glasses today because I just feel like it. And I don't normally like to wear my glasses in my videos because I don't like how the light reflects off of them, and they drive me absolutely nuts. Well, they don't drive me nuts wearing them, but they drive me nuts because I don't like the way the light reflects off of them. And yeah. And sorry, I'm on like Facebook Messenger. But anyways, I came here to talk about my top 10 worst and best couples. And I'm going to talk about my top 10 worst first because you saved the best for last, and I want to end this video on a very positive note. So, without further ado, kicking off the list at number 10 for my worst couples, because I'm doing worst couples first, is Shady. Sean and Katie. Now, for those of you who've watched my Girl Meets World videos and follow me on Tumblr, Keeloves, Keeloves, loves on Tumblr, will probably not be shocked to find them on this list. And I have my phone here because I'm looking down at my phone. Sorry. I'm looking down at my phone, and this is Sean and Katie. Yeah, I hate this couple. And I'll try not to go too much into detail because I've already ranted about them enough in the past. But the reason I hate this couple is, one, they have no chemistry. They're forced. They're like the most forced couple ever. It is like it's like ammonia and bleach mixed together. It is like trying to mix up oil and water because they do not go together. They are not a good couple. My personal opinion, I find Katie to come off as really desperate and dick hungry, and as I've said before many, many times, I do not like the way that single parents on Girl Meets World are portrayed or looked down upon because as someone, I didn't really have a dad a lot, or my dad was not around much in my life, and Maya's dad wasn't either, but it just felt like, oh, my life will be so much better if I have a daddy. And, I really don't like it because it just completely, they had to do a lot of screwing up the narrative on Boy Meets World to make Angela, a black woman, look terrible. And yes, I still stand by what I say. What they did to Angela was racist, and it's not okay. It's very, and by racist, I mean she's the only black character on the show, and she was the only black character on Boy Meets World, the main black female character, and just to see her get treated like garbage and have her name destroyed and slandered, that's what bothered me. And I honestly don't believe that Maya and the Maya and Sean parallel thing doesn't work for me either because Maya has a dad, or has her mom, who stays around, who doesn't drive off with their home. And I do mean that literally because Sean lived in a trailer park and Chet would always drive off with their home. And yeah, and it just felt really forced. And I get that they tried to make Maya broken, but Maya had a bed, had a house in the ground. I mean, yeah, she had her issues, but the fact that they tried to play up her issues is what bothered me, and it didn't feel natural. And Sean had more issues. I mean, he was getting into trouble. He was, his parents were he had a very dysfunctional family. And I'm not, and he lived with Jonathan Turner because Jonathan Turner took Sean in, cared about him because Sean needed a place to live. But to me, this just feels like a man will come and make everything better. Instead of, it should have been Katie focusing on herself, becoming a better mom to Maya. And, the Sean and Maya have good chemistry together, but I just did not like them. And, like, you can't just buy a bunch of girl. And Katie and Sean bought Maya a bunch of new clothes. Basically. He, like, spent a bunch of his money to buy her new clothes. And she's, like, crying and is like, I think you need to dress differently. So Maya, like, is hugging, like, and then it's just, like, Katie's been like, well, I've been telling you that for years you should dress differently. And I don't know. I did not. I felt forced. And it just felt like, oh, Maya needs a daddy and she's broken without one. Yeah, I fucking hate them. They suck and they're pucular. And I am forever mad at Michael Jacobs for ruining a beautiful interracial relationship for this fucking boring ass male couple. Sorry for swearing, but I really, really do not like this couple. And I really hate the whole Maya Hunter storyline. And maybe I'll do a video about that later, but yeah, nothing. I didn't mind Sean being like a mentor to Maya and helping her out. But like, do you really have to like force Sean to be with Katie? And it just ruins everything. And everyone is written out of character just to prop up these two, just to prop up this couple. Ugh. I hate it. I'm sorry. I will not disgrace you anti-shady shippers like myself with that picture anymore. Because I hate shady so much. Hate it. Okay. Next couple on the list. Oh boy. I'm probably not going to make a lot of friends with this one, but Literary, aka Jess Mariano and Rory Gilmore from the Gilmore Girls. And now I will admit that these two did have good chemistry, but I do not like them because they're so dysfunctional. First off, we'll get to the revival of them later. First off, Jess flirted with Rory. Hardcore flirted with Rory while she was with Dean. And I'm not saying that, like, he did all the flirting, because Rory flirted back. And Rory started to like Jess, which is fine, because you meet new people, you start to develop feelings, and you want to date new people, okay, fine. But Rory just had to lead Dean on just to avoid her feelings for Jess. And then she kisses Jess while she's still with Dean, and she's trying to make it work with Dean. But Rory and Jess just hardcore flirt. And until Dean finally gets fed up and he dumps her in public in front of Jess. Well, come to think of it, Dean's dumped Rory twice in front of two guys she was going to date. Jess and Logan is where he did this. Plus, Jess in the pre-revival series, in the original series, was just a train wreck. I mean, first off, he shows up like, oh, I'm a bad kid, my mom's a whack job. And Liz is not, like, as terrible as Jess says she is. And then he starts to fail out of school and gets super depressed. And then he shows up to Emily's house, Rory's grandma, if you don't watch the show. He shows up to Rory's grandma's house with a black eye because Rory and Emily basically worked out a deal to have Friday night dinners. And he shows up with a black eye. He isn't telling Rory the truth of what happened, and like, you're just gonna randomly show up with a black eye to my grandmother's house and you're not gonna tell me what's going on? And he was just being a disrespectful little ass to Emily Gilmore. And it's not okay. And, like, you're not going to disrespect my family like that and think you can date me. No, that's like a deal breaker. Like, I'll respect your family if they respect me, and you'll respect my family if they respect you. It's a two-way street. You don't get to be disrespectful to my family. Like, no, nope. And then Jess tried to force himself on Rory and groped her, and she leaves upset, he leaves upset, and they're both upset. But I think he's more so out of guilt, and, like, I don't really think he apologized. And then this leads to him and Dean getting in a full-fledged fight, and it just is not good. And, like, their obsession over Rory is bad. And then Jess would try to get with Rory when she was at a different place in her life, when was ready to have a more stable, mature relationship, and she was in love with Logan. And then Jess tried to get Rory to run away with him, and that didn't happen. And yeah, and Jess was just a mess in the original series. But now, pre-revival, I would say Rory was too good for Jess. But now post-revival, it's the opposite. Jess has his shit together. He is writing his book. He is a accomplished author. He's making good money. Yeah. But Rory in the revival, homegirl was a train wreck. First off, Rory had the absolute worst character development out of anyone in the series, and that's just my opinion, because when she was 19, she was the other woman, and she lost her virginity to Dean, her first boyfriend, and they had sex. Well, Dean was married to Lindsay. And then Rory shit talks Lindsay. Like, girl, you have the nerve to shit talk Lindsay when you're the one banging her husband? No, thank you. Plus, maybe Rory and Oliver Queen from Arrow can get together because they're kind of whores. And then, she keeps forgetting to dump Paul, and she's, like, banging a Wookiee in the series, and she's banging Logan, and then Logan is cheating on his fiancée Odette, and it just is like, why haven't you broken up with Paul? And then Jess is still obsessed over Rory, and it's like, plus Rory is just an entitled brat who cannot take no and cannot take criticism, and she didn't get the job at this news place she wanted. She wasn't working to get the job that she claims she wants so badly. She just expects it to be handed to her. She expects the job to be handed to her. She stole a yacht because Mitchum told her she don't got it. That was the original series. And, like, she throws a fucking hissy fit because she gets a job that she supposedly wanted but doesn't get the job because she ain't good. And, yeah, Mitchum's right. Rory don't got that. She don't got it. Like, Mitchum told her she don't got it, and she'd be like, most people would cry and then be like, I'm going to prove myself wrong. Like, Elle Woods. Sorry, I'm wiping off my computer. Like, Elle Woods from Legally Blonde. Her boyfriend, Warren, Elle's ex-boyfriend, told her, like, you're not smart enough. You're not good enough. And she's like, well, we got into the same law school, Warner. Am I blue here, or did we not get into the same law school? We took the same LSATs. And she's like, you know what? I don't need him. I'm smart, and I'm going to prove everything in my power to prove him wrong. Does Rory do any of that? No, she sits around, whines, and works for the Stars Hollow Gazette, not making any money, and, like, she needs to make money because that girl's got a trust fund, and Rory in the revival was stupid and doesn't deserve Jess anymore. So, yeah. So that's it for number 9 on Rory slash literary. Cannot stand those two. And not to be weird or creepy or anything, but I would ship adult Jess with teenage Rory and adult Rory with teenage Jess. Not like to be weird, but if they were like that, then I could ship them, but no, I cannot. Not that an adult and teenager relationship is okay, but that's just my personal opinion, if you know what I mean. Up next, number 8, probably a very unpopular opinion. Danny and Sandy from Grease. Now, my friend here on YouTube, The Wicked Merman, he hates Grease. Like, he doesn't like it. Danny and Sandy are a shitty couple. And rewatching Grease is, yeah, he's right. They are a shitty couple. And the only couple, or the only Grease he'll watch probably is the live action Grease Live because it has Keke Palmer as Marty. I love Keke Palmer. She's super talented. Jordan Fisher and Vanessa Hudgens, who in my opinion was the best part of the show. And Vanessa Hudgens is like, she shed her good girl Gabrielle image to Betty Rizzo, promiscuous Betty Rizzo. Betty Rizzo is like my favorite character, and Vanessa brought her to life. Vanessa was the best part of Grease, okay, yeah, she was. And Aaron Tveit as Danny. And just so we're clear, Grease Live had like the best casting choices in my personal opinion, so yeah. Okay, so why do I not like Danny and Sandy? Well, first off, their solos, even though they're sung beautifully and done great, they're the worst. Because Hopelessly Devoted to You, even though Olivia Newton-John did a great job singing that song, like, why are you hopelessly devoted to a man who treats you like shit? I mean, Danny, for one, treated you terribly at the football game to impress his friends. He acts like he's embarrassed to be seen in public with you. And he's just not nice to you at all. And he just makes excuses for his poor behavior. And he tries to become a jock. He tries to change himself for you because he wants to get in your pants. No. Oh, sorry, I don't like the song Hopelessly Devoted to You anymore. Summer Lovin' is a great song. I still love the song, but let's face it, it is overplayed and it is vastly overrated. So, yeah. And guys, if your boyfriend becomes a different person when he's with you in public versus than when he's with you in private, there's a red flag. Please stop. But he'll treat Sandy nicely in private, except for the time he groped her in public and almost practically raped her. And that's the other thing, is like, why does Sandy get made fun of for being a virgin? I mean, I'm almost 23 years old next month, 1 month and 2 days, in fact. And I'm still a virgin. Like, even oral and anal. Sorry if that's like way too much information, but it's like, why are you shaming teenagers in media for being virgins? And like, Sandy's shamed because she's a virgin, and Betty Rizzo is shamed because she's promiscuous and has a lot of sex. So yeah, and then Danny in Grease. Sandy, baby, I wonder why. Why? No, I hate it. Like, you just tried to grope her. And then, Sandy changes who she is and does a complete 180 just so that Danny will get with her. And he tries to become a jock but doesn't really change. And like, why you don't have to change yourself. Like, oh, look at me in my black leather suit, which was a sexy suit, by the way, and my leather jacket, and I'm a pink girl, and me in my red high heel shoes. Like, no, you don't have to change for anyone. Stop it. It's fine. You're fine the way you are. Ugh. But anyway, those are my thoughts on Danny and Sandy. They're number 8. Coming up to number 7, Jade from Famous in Love. I'm sad that show got canceled. Hold on, I need a moment. Okay, done pouting. Jade from from Famous in Love, Jake, Salt, and Paige Townsend with no D. I hate this couple. I absolutely do not like this couple. And aside from Harper and Rainer being my least favorite couple, Jade is my other least favorite couple on the show, and Pablo and Tangi. But anyway, I think I hate Jake Salt the most out of any character because he's supposed to be portrayed as a nice guy and all, but he's not nice. In fact, first off, Paige is way too good for Jake. Plus, she's gorgeous and deserves way better, like Cassie, Tangi, or Rainer, whatever. But Jake just treats Paige like crap. He treats her like shit, and I don't like it because he's ungrateful. Because Paige gave Jake the option to move in with her because Paige bought a new house because she's acting and she's getting ahead in life and she wanted a new house and like, hey, give me the option to move in. Let's see. He doesn't, and then he whines and like complains about her having a job that she needs to go to. And then the other thing, Jake is just kind of he's emotionally abusive because Paige will do all of these nice things for him and he will still somehow complain. For example, she helped him get Billy / Vera, the waitress, her real name is Billy on the show, to be in his Georgia movie. And does he say thank you? No, not really. And then he probably starts to develop feelings for Billy. And then the other thing is that Jake... Oh, what else? Jake is a whore. I'm sorry. Jake Salt in this show is a frickin' whore. First off, he sleeps with Lexi because he wants to get his script. He wants to get ahead as a director. He's an up-and-coming director. And he goes off and sleeps with Lexi and then acts like a self-righteous dick about it because he's treating Paige like garbage. And this is them pre-dating. Then once he finds out his script isn't going to make it to the top, he totally ghosts Lexi. Like, you slept with Lexi, your script didn't make it, and then you ghost Lexi like it's Lexi's fault that it didn't make it, and then you're mad at Paige because your script didn't make it. And then Paige tries to give you another opportunity to get yourself out there, by inviting you to a party. Well, not really a party. First off, let me just say this, because this scene just pisses me off the most. Rainer was having a party for environmentalists. Like for the environment or whatever, to raise money for the environment. And Paige knew there was probably going to be celebrities and producers there at this party because because it was hosted by a celebrity, so it would be natural to have other famous people at this party. So Paige, the next morning has an audition for a movie and has a photo shoot and says, hey, look, I am not going to be drinking. I'm leaving early. We're going to this party so we can get your script on. She makes that very, very clear. So Jake and her sit down with this director dude played by Max Elder. He's Krosky from Glee. And like that really horrible villain Iris fought on The Flash. But anyway. So they're sitting down. He's being really nice. Things are going good until Max Adler's character gets out a bottle of like tequila, and Paige is like, oh no thanks, I'm not drinking. And then Max's character just keeps egging Paige on to drink, and she's like looking for Jake to help her. And what happens? Does Jake come to her defense? Does Jake say, oh no, I think the lady says she's good, so just leave her be. She doesn't have to drink. But no. Instead, Jake gives her, like, drink. Like, you better drink, please, so I can get ahead for my script. Like, what a selfish asshole. Like, Jake, Paige was nice enough to bring your ass to this party where she didn't have to. She said she wasn't going to drink. She made that perfectly clear. And then the worst thing, when Paige does drink, because she was pressured into it, although Paige could have gotten up and walked away, but she wanted to be loyal, and she was a loyal girlfriend. She gets so drunk that she can't walk home. Jake loses her in a crowd and basically flirts with Billy and just shows off his script because he's a dick like that. And Rainer had to take Paige home, and she's throwing up and pickled. It's like, have you tried pickle juice for hangovers? Just, which is actually really funny that Paige barfed at that, because Bella Thorne, I just found out, actually really loves drinking pickle juice. Although, I just found out a lot of stuff about Bella Thorne, like not bashing her, like eating raw onions and garlic, and this is something she says herself, and pickle juice, and then like homegirl don't brush her teeth with mint. Something tells me Bella Thorne would probably smell like body odor. Not like bashing Bella Thorne, but like just based off what I've heard, and this is something she said herself. I hope that the mint part is, I hope her not brushing her teeth with mint is not true. I hope that's a lie. I hope she does brush her teeth with mint, because, girl, you won't be stinking up your breath if you eat that. But at least she's probably eating healthy. But anyway, and I have a friend who's like a really big fan of her. And we both hate Jake Salt. So, yeah. Let's see. Then, Paige is feeling so emotionally abandoned. Jake doesn't like stick up for Paige because he's a spineless little punk. And he just is terrible to her for, I don't know why. He's even terrible to Lexi, and I'm not even a huge fan of Lexi from Famous in Love. But, like, Jesus, like, she didn't deserve that. None of the girls did, and Jake is just an asshole, so he should go be with Harper, because Harper's an asshole, too. And the other thing is, like, the minute Jake doesn't get what he wants, or it's not going Jake Salt's way, then suddenly it's everyone else is at fault. And I know I get like hate. I'm probably get hate for saying this, but I did not care that Paige cheated on Jake. Nope, I didn't care. Yes, I know cheating's wrong. I know it's not okay. But I honestly was so glad that Paige cheated on Jake. And then my favorite Jage moment is when Paige was like, nothing's ever your fault. Like, not waiting for me to finish Georgia. Not making me do shots when I told you I wasn't drinking and making me miss my Source Stacy audition. Not defending me when some guy rips me to shreds in front of you. What else did she say? Not moving in with me. And then basically all of that. And now you probably have feelings for Billy. And then basically she says like, you have feelings for Billy, but oh no, you can't do that, right? Because nothing's ever your fault. I was like, girl, thank you for finally calling Jake out on his shit. Because I hate him so much. And the reason I think the reason I hate Jake more than Ida, which is Ida Turner, which is Tangi's mom, and Pablo Money and Harper, is because Jake is portrayed as a nice. We're supposed to think Jake is a nice boy, and he's not. Yeah, so I fucking hate them, and I do not like Jake Salt. And Paige is gorgeous, and she deserves better, and she's my favorite character, alongside Tangi Turner. And they're not friends, and I'm really sad there's not a season 3 of Famous in Love, because if there were, I'd make Tangi and Paige friends, and possibly a feminist lesbian couple, because they're gorgeous. And yeah. Number 6. Hold on, I want to make sure I didn't miss any. Number 6 on my list, this probably won't surprise a lot of people who've watched my Pretty Little Liars videos, is Emerson. Oh boy, I do not like this couple for many reasons, and I'll be very brief because I've touched on it in the past with my Pretty Little Liars videos. But yeah, I do not like this couple for several reasons. One, Allison's abusive. She's an unremorseful little bitch. Emily's the easiest to manipulate, and Allison always manipulates Emily first, because Emily, like I said, is the easiest to manipulate, and Allison knows that she can manipulate Emily. And I'm pretty sure 95% of their relationship is going to be Allison manipulating Emily and lying and doing all that bullshit. And she queer baited Emily and put Emily through hell for like 10 years. Or for like 5.5 years. And Allison treats Emily's loved ones like shit, like Paige. And I'm not just saying this as a Paley shipper. I've never really liked... Allison as a villain is great, but Allison and Emily, hate them. And I know people are going to be like, Carly, how can you like Paley? Paige was a bitch to Emily too. No. First off, Paige being a bitch... What Paige did does not even compare to what the things Allison has done. Like, faking a kidnapping and faking your death? No, thank you. Stop it. Yeah. And Allison is only really nice to, and Allison only really wants Emily when Paige is around, and and Allison's, jealousy, if you want to call it that. It's more so, like, I feel like Paige is treated in a way... No, Allison treats Emily like Emily's a prize and only wants her when she knows she can't have her, so... They're toxic as fuck. I hate them, and I really despise this couple. So I didn't touch too much on that because I've touched on them in the past, but yeah. Number 5, I think, is probably not a very unpopular one. Olicity. Yeah. Really don't like that couple. I really hate that couple. A lot. Hate it, hate it, hate it. And also, Olicity has now become... Another reason to add Olicity to my shit list is because they totally ruined my fave couple's wedding, West Allen wedding. Like, why the hell did you do that? That's not okay. And, I don't like Oliver. I've touched on that in the past. I'll try not to cover them too much. Because Felicity is a Mary Sue character. She really is. And Oliver, I still don't like him. I will never like Arrow Oliver because he's a fucking asshole. And I will never get over for the way he treated Laurel. Which probably leads me into my next couple that I hate, but I really, really want to love. And Olicity doesn't really have that great a chemistry. Laura Oliver. Okay, see, the thing about Laura Oliver is that I think Katie Cassidy and Stephen Amell have great chemistry together. And I'm not just saying that. Like, I really hate the couple, Laura Oliver, but I think the actors have great chemistry together. And it really bugs me that they were never given a shot because stupid fucking Sarah Lance had to get in the way. And like I've said before, Sarah Lance is the devil's spawn. And by the way, Funko Pop, sorry if I'm getting off on a rant because I really hate Sarah. Sarah Lance is not the Black Canary, okay? Her name isn't Dinah Laurel Lance, and she has no traits like the Black Canary other than fighting skills and being bisexual. But yeah. But Oliver and Laurel could have been that it couple. Childhood friends. They loved and trusted each other. But Oliver constantly manipulated Laurel, gaslighted her, and just treated her like shit. And I'm still never going to get over the family dinner. Because she was just treated like garbage. And I'll probably do my part 2, my top 10 best couples shit in another video because this video is getting to be quite long. But yeah, Laura Oliver sucks because it's because of Oliver, and he treated Laurel like crap. And then and then that dinner scene where Sarah comes back and she brings Oliver to this dinner. And she just shows up with him and just be flirting with him in front of Laurel, despite the fact that Laurel's going through her own shit. And a lot of the shit Laurel's going through was brought among Sarah and Oliver's selfishness. So the fact that Oliver and Sarah are back together banging, and that hallway scene, it's like, oh, I'm done chasing after you. Like, bitch, you're fucking her sister again. Like, no. And Laurel just deserved better overall. And I'm kind of hoping Black Siren and Oliver get together. I know that's probably not going to happen because the writers be on that Olicity dick. And Black Siren deserves better. And I want Black Siren to get a girlfriend. And I also want Black Siren to punch Oliver in the face and just be really mean to Sarah and shit talk her because Sarah deserves it, and I just want to see someone with Laurel's face shit talk Sarah. So yeah, and Sarah's the worst and Oliver's the worst, and they deserve each other, and they can go to hell together because they're literally the worst. Number 3 probably won't surprise many people. Cara and Mano, or Carmel or Carmeo. Now, a while back, I made a I hate Monel video and /Carmel video. So, you feel free to go watch those, but I hate Cara and Monel together. First off, the reason I pretty much hate them for the same reasons that I hate Jake and Paige, because Jake and Paige remind me so much of Jade. Wait, did I skip one? No, I didn't. Or no. Jade reminds me so much of Kara and Monel. Except that Jake isn't a slave owner and didn't replace a black man. Kara... First off, Monel treats Kara like shit. I don't like it. He couldn't even tell Kara he was married until he was kissing his wife that he got sent 5 years into the future for. I don't know how long he was in the future, but yeah, I hate it. Monel is nothing like Monel from the comics, just like Oliver from Arrow is nothing like Oliver from the comics. And I hate it. Plus the fact that Monel's a slave owner and Kara's dating a slave owner, well, you just shit on your African American male lead for her to date a slave owner. I'm like, that's really, really racist. And Supergirl is just a shit show now. Because Kara, to me, is basically like a girl version of Clark, and I don't like it at all. And, my favorite Carmel moment is Kara also had a similar moment to Paige, or vice versa, where she drags Monel. And it was awesome! Like, called out Monel on his bullshit, and it was beautiful, and I loved it. And Monel is just an asshole. I really, 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 really don't like him. So Monel should just go back to being Kai on Vampire Diaries, because they're played by the same actor. And Kara called him a dude bro, and frat boy of the universe. And he let civilians get hurt by cops because he was too worried about Kara, even though Monel is also bulletproof and Kara can handle herself. And I really didn't like how he berates Kara. And he's just not fun. And yeah, this is going to be a 2-part video. Sorry for making this video so long, but yeah. And plus I don't like the fact that Kara's dating a fucking slave owner. Or dated a slave owner after dumping James, who they didn't give a chance. So yeah, I felt like they just propped the ship up for a racist ass crack ship. But anyway, number 2, I've also already touched on, Rumble from Once Upon a Time. I really do not like this couple at all. First off, I wish Belle would have had Lacey's personality, which is Belle's alter ego, or would have just stayed Lacey, because Lacey had more of a backbone than Belle. And honestly, Rumple should have ended when Belle banished Rumple from the town, because Rumple is a wife killer. He killed Mila twice and threw her into the Lake of Lost Souls, and the writing for their relationship is super misogynistic. Plus Rumple looks old enough to be Belle's dad. And then all he has done to Belle is lie and manipulate her. Treats Belle like an object to be had, and I don't like that. And he just, like, beat up Belle's father. Well, actually, ship Hook and Charming, and Hook killed Charming's father, but oh well. And he has given Belle ultimatums and made Belle so afraid of him that she gave up their child before he could, so that Gideon could have a better life, and then they got a happy ending. And plus, they're just not a healthy couple, and I'm tired of them trying to make it a Beauty and the Beast allegory, because it's not. It's terrible. It's not Beauty and the Beast. It's just Rumple being an abusive dickhole to Belle. And Belle should have just, and if they wanted a good Beauty and the Beast storyline, and I've said this many times, Belle should have just gotten with Ruby. Okay, problem solved. And yeah, and I really just did not like this couple, because they suck ass. And all the Once Upon a Time couples suck. And that's like, oh, you're good now, you can be a beast, and I'll never change. But like, he's told you flat out to your face that he ain't gonna change. So why are you still trying to change him? Stop it. And it's just really gross. Okay, So that's enough on Rumble. And finally, for number one, the number one ship I hate, even worse than Emerson from Pretty Little Liars, is Arya and Ezra from Pretty Little Liars. Ezra Fitz and Arya Montgomery, or Ezra, or whatever the hell their ship name is, because they're a gross couple. Ezra stalked Arya. He admitted to knowing who she was in the bar that day, and he still, made out with her in the bathroom, and then they became teacher-student, and he was the adult. It was up to him to stop it. And no, they didn't, and it's not okay. Ezra also had an inappropriate relationship with Alicent, and the whole reason Ezra got with Arya and stalked her four underage friends. No, stalked Arya and her friends who were underage, was to write a book about Alicent and to gain trust. And that's predatory as hell. Let's see. He is just gross. And he chased Arya through the woods and basically and he trapped her on a Ferris wheel. And he's the worst. And they're the worst couple ever in TV history. And Marlene King, fuck you for putting abusive relationships together. Sorry I said that, but yeah. And he's a predator, and and that's not okay. And that's sending a really terrible message. Anyways, my dishonorable mentions are Harper and Rhaenyra from Famous in Love, because Harper's a piece of garbage, and she sucks, and she's a user, a manipulator, and she basically gaslights Rhaenyra, and I hate it. Other dishonorable mentions, Brandon and Callie from The Fosters. And people are going to jump on me because I ship West Allen, and they call West Allen incest, but they can ship Brandon and Callie, who are adopted siblings. They are actually adoptive siblings, so you cannot complain about West Allen and then ship Bradley, because that's just being hypocritical. So yeah, that was immature of me. From Degrassi, Spinner and Emma, Spemma, because not that they're terrible together, but they just came out of left field, and they had 4 conversations, and they never really dated or got back together, so they're just not a good couple, and they're forced. So yeah. And anyways, those are my ships. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm looking down at my phone a lot. And thanks for watching. And part 2 of this video, my top 10 best couples, should be up soon. Anyways, thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment down below. Leave suggestions, and have a good one.